So you're saying that in Hampton Roads region, trafficking is alive and well. Is that correct?
Yes, in fact, we're a perfect storm for it. People think
And
about it. Go ahead.
and Virginia is ranked number 15 in the nation for trafficking. Is that correct?
We've actually been ranked as high as five not that many years ago. So, and there's a
Wow.
number of reasons for that. I think people can readily identify them. We have a large military presence, several places throughout the state, in our own region, and up in the D.C. area. We have large ports in Hampton Roads. We have the third largest port in the Eastern
Hmm.
Seaboard. They only check, I think, what 5% of the containers going in and out. That's a potential for
Right.
ramp. We have two international airports in our region. Of course, international airports
Hmm.
up in Richmond and then obviously
Hmm.
in D.C. We have the interstates. While this doesn't have to be mobile, a person could be trafficked in a home and people could be brought to that person.
Hmm.
It tends to be mobile because the trafficker is trying to stay ahead of getting caught. So he's constantly moving the survivor, and and he's only moving them so that he can keep ahead of law enforcement. He's also moving them so that they can't establish any networks, any possible ways to
Right.
reach out for
Right.
help or support. Then you've got, in our region, we've got tourism, and that's true probably for the state itself. A lot of tourists coming in, that
Hmm.
facilitates it. Here we have a lot of, with the military presence and colleges and such, we have a lot of coming and going. So it's great. Transients contributes to it. And we have homeless youth who come to our region because, think, oh, Virginia Beach, and, I can have fun. I can go to the beach and I can get a job real easy, but they have no social support and no connective
Right.
networks. And so they're easy prey. And finally, we have J-1 visa student programs, very prominent. And many, many of the organizations we've worked with are obviously very reputable, legitimate businesses, but there are some that are not. And there's subject for potential abuses to the J-1 visa program, depending upon how closely things are being monitored. So, in fact, it'd
Wow.
be a miracle if we were not doing so. That's why it's so important that people are aware that it's happening here, that it could
Right.
potentially happen next door, it could be coming to your door. Um, yeah.
And are you the only game in town as far as helping with the legal needs of these victims?
Well, no, of course, the public defender's office quite often will have people in court appointed attorneys, and that's where Free Kind
Hmm.
comes in with working with those organizations. And I
Hmm.
also have worked with court appointed attorneys on legal matters to act as co-counsel in those cases, if I'm
Hmm.
not lead counsel. So you do have that connection. And then I also understand that legal aid has also, you know, has provided some services related to some of the things that they're very good at, related to landlord tenant issues and such, and other things like government benefits. So, no, we're not the only game in town, but we are the game in town that's focused on this issue,
Right.
and bring a
You're
particular
the you're the
expertise to it.
only you're the only organization or ministry that is main focus is dealing with the legal and financial issues of human trafficking victims. Is that correct?
That would be correct. And financial
Okay,
issues,
good.
let's say, play into the victimization.
Yeah, so that's why I think it's important for people in Hampton Roads in particular to see this video because it is a huge issue in Virginia, in Hampton Roads, and you and some of the folks you work with are the only real ministries and organizations dedicated to helping these victims get extracted from the layers of bondage. My goodness, first they're, sort of tricked into doing stuff, and then now they have all the legal crimes that they've committed, which keeps them in bondage even more. And then they come out and they are criminals because they've been forced to do all these criminal acts. So you're really so folks, as you listen, I want you to listen for not just what Patrick does, but how you can get involved in working with Patrick and his organization. He's got several that he's mentioning. We'll put them in the links. So don't just make this information, make this something that you can use to leapfrog into helping them in some way. Because, my gosh, this could be your daughter. This could be your sister. It could be a friend's family. We